Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Osborne from the Brighton District Library, and today we're going to be making this book page wreath. This is the actual wreath that I made during the tutorial, so you'll see exactly how it went together. And when you finish your wreath, we'd love to see any pictures or videos you have. Thanks and enjoy. Hi everyone, it's Jennifer. Today we're going to be making book page wreaths, and you should get a foam wreath and a book. You should also have a glue gun and glue sticks that you will have to provide on your own. So you'll take your first page and you're going to start rolling it up from the corner. And this is kind of a tulip shape. And then you can just at the bottom, maybe 1 inch of the piece of paper, you'll glue that and then stick it right on the edge of your wreath. And then you're just going to continue in this manner, going all the way around the wreath. And I think as I went along, I realized that if you bend the page first before you put the glue on, it works a little bit better at getting the page to stick. And sometimes the pages will unwrap from themselves. You usually don't have to put a dab of glue. And as we go on here, I think that I'll point out that you'll want the seam to run along the front side of the piece of paper. And that's going to make it less likely to unroll itself once it's attached to the wreath there. So we'll speed this up here. This project took about 1 hour and 20 minutes to complete, and this was me sitting at a table doing this the entire time. I didn't get up, so this may take a little bit longer, just depending on the kind of time you have to sit and complete the project. You'll notice that a lot of the pages are standing up and it looks kind of crazy right now, but it will look better and it will look really good when it's done. Okay, so this is where I'm noting here, the fold along the front makes it just stick a little bit better, or prevent from unraveling. And in just a couple seconds here, we'll speed this up just a little bit and we'll skip to the end of this row so you can see how it all looks when the first level is complete. There will be 6 levels. And as we move on to the second level, we're actually going to fold the paper a little bit differently. So here we are finishing up the first level. And I'm fixing a couple of problem areas here, just trying to get those pages to lay a little flatter. And then you can kind of press them down just to get them out of the way as you start level number 2. And here's a little tutorial for level number 2. So I just lengthwise folded it or fanned it into 4 folds there. And then you're just going to fold about 1 inch from the bottom. And then you'll start gluing that on just above where you started your first level. Okay, so I just put them right next to each other, and you know, you don't have to make yours so dense. You can actually spread them out a little bit. It is a very full wreath once it's finished. And here we'll speed it up a little bit as we go around that second level. And you see the pieces like to come back towards you, but that will fix itself in the end of the wreath. we're going to jump to the end of that second level as we finish up there, kind of mush everything down. And then we're going to move on, just a quick tutorial for folding the third piece. It's very similar to how you folded the first piece, except you're going to fold it up a little bit tighter. So maybe a third of the way, you want that piece to be just a little bit shorter for your third level. And as you can see, the wreath gets a little bit smaller as you move inward, so you won't have to make as many. And you can do your wreath however you would like. If you would like to do just all of the tulip shape, you can certainly do that. You can do all of the fan. I've done both before. It has been probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years since I've done one. So watching this video here, you're watching me do it for the first time in a long time. So we're kind of doing it together. And we'll speed this up a little bit here so that we can get through the third level. And I just go back and forth with the levels. So the first level is the tulip, and then the second level is the fan, and then your last level will be a fan also. Okay, so here we're finishing up with that third level of the tulip, and the tulip shape really wants to stand up and get in the way, but that's okay. You'll be able to move all out. Okay, so this is for the fourth level, for the next fan level. I folded it just in 3 instead of 4, and then I folded it almost all the way in half, not quite. So you'll just start to glue those down as well. Those little tutorials sort of in the middle, I realized after I recorded the video that my hands were out of the frame a lot, and I wanted to make sure that you saw exactly what I was doing as I went along making the wreath here. Okay, so we'll speed up level 4 here. And we're just putting the last piece into level 4. Now level 5, we're going back to tulip, but we're actually going to roll it kind of from that short end. And it may kind of roll back on itself, but that's okay. And then you'll just fold that maybe, you know, 1 inch from the bottom as well, because it's a shorter piece, having been folded from that short end. And as you know from the tulip shape from earlier, it really likes to force its way into the wreath as you go around. All right, finishing up level 5. We'll get that last piece into place. And then you can fluff it up. Actually, that looked really good as far as the pieces pulling in. For the last level, you will fold from the short end. And for most of the pieces, I think that I did 4 or 5 folds, just depending. I wanted it to be a wider piece. And then you're just gonna fold that basically in half, maybe a little bit shorter on the back side. And then you'll be able to glue that right in. And that piece is actually, you'll be able to see pretty much the whole fan. And that is going to be the last piece of this wreath. And it's going to stick right in there. I've seen some of these wreaths that are done with magazines, so it's more colorful. And we have a wreath on our office door at the library that I made probably 10 years ago, and it is very brown now, so it definitely will age, and it will give you that sort of sepia look, which is really cool if you like that. And it's still going strong. It's probably full of more cobwebs than we would like to admit, but all right, there's the last piece, or last piece is coming up here. And you'll see the fan shape in the end really hides the rest of the wreath in the middle, having all of those pieces open up. And that's it.